Ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with a crisis. Our frogs are gay. Now, you might not believe the living meme that is Alex Jones. But what if I told you there was a dapper New York intellectual called Alex Pradome that wrote a book called The Ripple Effect, that years prior to Jones's announcement of gay frogs, that was slightly homoerotic, talked about atrazine. Now, what is atrazine? It's a chemical found in common products. Let's read. When you wash your hands with antibacterial soap, for example, you flush chemicals in the soap, such as triclocarban, which survive processing in treatment plants, into waterways where they can disrupt the endocrine system of fish, leaving them vulnerable to disease and death. Such endocrine disruptors are also found in children's toys, cosmetic, furniture, and the weed killers many people spray on their lawns. Atrazine, for instance, the nation's second most popular herbicide, has been shown in a lab to feminize male frogs. I'm looking at you, Johnny Weir. To the point that they can produce eggs and even babies in their testes. By God, that's some heavy transitioning. Researchers worry that such powerful chemicals can't be impacting human health in ways we don't yet understand, perhaps causing feminization or birth defects in people. Another kind of ripple effect is set off when you turn on a lamp or power up your computer. Electricity is generated by hydroelectric dams or by coal, gas, nuclear, or ethanol-fueled plants, which use large amounts of water for the manufacturing and disposal of their fuels, furning their works and for cooling the construction and operation of energy infrastructure, such as dams, transmission lines, and solar arrays. Our water-intensive and impact the environment in countless ways. Their use creates greenhouse gases, which affect the hydrologic cycle, and so it goes on and on as ripples of our actions emanate outward, usually without our comprehension and often with unintended hydrological consequences. What more can you want? It's in black and white. Highly scientific. Frogs are gay. Also, beer, I think, increases estrogen levels. Hence why you get man-titties and a prego belly, also known as a beer gut. I actually often drink wine, partially for that reason, but also just because I enjoy the taste of wine. Now, what's funny about, since we're on the topic of fabulousness in a roundabout way, what I found funny is that a lot of people think, oh, well, wine, that's gay. That's what Nancy's drink. Well, you know what? Alexander the Great, perhaps he was a Nancy. I don't know. There was a lot of man love going on back then. But I'm just saying, a lot of conquerors and Roman folk drank wine, and wine I don't think has the same estrogenic effects. So if you want man titties and you want more estrogen in your system, you drink beer. So is drinking beer, which directly leads to feminization, really manly? That's the question I've been asking. Isn't this a brilliant vlog? This is all that I have time for because my day is insane. Woke up at 2 in the morning, worked for 7 hours with no break. I mean, I crapped once. Then I came home, I took a brief nap. Nurse came over to, administer to my relative. And then I had to run errands and cook and clean the house. I'm a one-man show here. Yeah. I don't know, it's a little douchey to get all autobiographical, but I feel like the situation is so unique and there's so many conclusions I can draw from the things that I observe from it. Eventually I'll start talking more about it, maybe. But yeah, there's just a whole hell of a lot going on. But yeah, I did bring you a little snippet of information there that you can use. Look out for stuff. There's stuff everywhere that's gonna mess with your body. It's out there. And recently I posted a jokey article where I reposted Tim Pool's, or posted a link to Tim Pool's video. He's a sort of internet journalist who one of the founders of Vice, who went off and did his own thing. He talked about how there's a lot more bisphenol A, according to a study by some woman at some university, than previously thought in our products. And a lot of the stuff in our water and other places is, well, causing the sorts of feminization that atrazine causes in our teenagers. Hormone disruptors. You gotta watch out for them. The kooky people have been talking about it for a long time, and it turns out the kooky people were right. Hey, you know, that's why you don't go based on where the information is coming from. You go on if the information is correct. You try to verify it or dispute it. I understand the need for heuristics, because not everybody has the time to look into everything, but with the internet, with libraries and things, it behooves us to pay a bit more attention. Let's see what the this is kind of a medley, what the old pocket recommendations are. Members only, Sopranos con and the ending. I'm bad at reading. Members only, Sopranos con and the enduring afterlife of Tony Soprano. Will the franchise have staying power for a new generation? You know, I never watched The Sopranos, but I could. I wonder what generation they're talking about. Isn't it like in like the early 2000s or like the odds that show was big? Let's look it up. I don't actually know. At Gaggle. I normally use DuckDuckGo, but Google is just so much more convenient. No, I won't do it. I'll use DuckDuckGo. So, The Sopranos. The Sopranos is an American crime drama television series created by David Chassie. The story revolves around Tony Soprano, a meatball, a New Jersey-based Italian-American mobster, portraying the difficulties that he faces. When was it made? Yeah, bunch of douchebags. Oh my god, kill me now. Where'd it go? Where's the fucking date? Ordered 1997, 1999, so I was right. It ran through the early 2000s. So that's sort of my generation. I don't know, because in the early 2000s, I was fucking what? Like in the year 2000, I had to have been 11. My teens were in like the, let's see, yeah, I was in high school in like 2013, around abouts there. Wait, fuck no, I'm really bad at memory. 2008 is when I graduated. That means, and that's only because I was supposed to graduate in 2007, but I didn't do a project for an English class, so I got kind of sent to a weird remediation program. Fuck is going on? So if I was supposed to graduate in 2000, that means I went, yeah, 2003. Okay. Yeah, that's right, because you're like 13 when you go to fucking, yeah. I'm old, by the way, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, I guess it's kind of my generation. So apparently, according to that article there on Pocket, a new generation. So what, the fucking little shits that everybody's jacking off about, the Gen Zers are gonna be jacking off to fucking The Sopranos. All right, sounds good. Yeah. Well, I gotta go to bed, because I gotta get my ass kicked by work in a few hours. So, cheers.